body positivity.
The society is declining where things that are not normal are becoming normal.
We're a society that really, really likes to indulge.
It's a system of oppression for big people.
It bothers me because I'm going to be 25 and backaches, okay? Things are gonna be cracking where they should not.
Ladies and gents, let's dive straight into our first. Let's dive straight in.
It's like you want to say dive or delve, and then you kind of mix.
Let's delve.
No, I think I want to say dive straight, but then my brain was like, just mush the two words together.
So delving, is it not straight? Is it to the side?
Okay, let's dive straight into our first segment, okay? Right. And to kick off our season this season, I've got the first Am I Wrong for you guys, all right? So he says that his wife loves the show Yellowstone. She has lots of relatives that farm and have a ranch. She, however, is a city girl. I don't see how this is relevant, though. But this is the situation. Mm-hmm. For her birthday, I decided to blow a wad of cash on something useless. I bought her a cowboy hat, a very expensive cowboy hat, from a place that does custom fitting. I got myself one as well, and I got it fitted to my big melon, his head. It fits perfectly, and is actually really comfortable and useful. My wife was asked by the salesperson if her hat fit. My wife was asked by the salesperson if her hat fit. She said yes. I told her to get it fitted so that it would be perfect. The salesperson said it was no problem. My wife said it fit really well and it did not need any extra attention. It blew into the ocean when we took a...
You can't make this up.
Not even like a river, the whole ocean.
They ain't getting that back.
He's in the wrong. I don't
Little baby that's got that now.
He's in the wrong.
Okay. So he says, it blew into the ocean when we took a whale watching tour. She said she wanted to go back to the store to replace it. I asked her if her budget could handle it. Right, I asked her if her budget could handle it. She's mad at me now for not wanting to replace it. I don't think I should. I don't think I should have to spend more money because she hates being a bother, in quotation marks. Am I wrong for this?
I don't think he is. Because really, the guy said have it. I'm guessing he was wearing his and it didn't blow into the ocean. And that's probably because he got it fitted to his head. But the expectation that he's going to now go and replace it, considering... I don't think she should have that expectation. I think if he wants to go and replace it, that should be his prerogative. But I think it's quite entitled for her to just assume he's going to replace it.
And the hat was about £600.
Yeah, but it's like you've basically lost a possession.
Mm-hmm. And it's gone.
It's like if somebody gives you a birthday gift and you lose it, let's say they got you a ring, a piece of jewelry, you lose it. Are you really going to message them and be like, you know that necklace you got me? I kind of lost it, so can you like send me another one? That's not how life works.
No, but not for a friend, but for a partner, no? You can be like, oh, you know that ring you got me? I lost it. And then the partner's like, oh, it's fine, I'll replace it.
Yeah, but that's him saying, yeah, it's him or her saying, yeah, it's fine, I'll replace it. Yeah. I think it's too entitled to say, I lost this ring, therefore can you replace it, even if it's a partner. I think you should actually be a little bit more remorseful that you lost something that they spent quite valuable amount of money getting you. And you blatantly refused to have the correct fittings for it, which I think adds a bit more to the story.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm in total agreement with that. I think he's not wrong for that. I think it's quite comical, actually, to be honest.
You can see it in your head.
How he's told this story. You know, I think it's a, for me, the reason why he's not wrong is because he stated at the beginning that he decided to splash out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So clearly this is not everyday purchase. Mm-hmm. So he considered his finance or their finance, you know, all right, let me just do this little bit. And we know where the story is coming from. You know, she likes his show and things like that. Mm. So it was a well thought of present that cost a lot, right? Got there in the end.
Give him a plaster for his tongue.
Right? And to be honest, nobody knows what will happen, right? But if you are buying something that expensive and the guy is there, it's not bother, I can have it fitted, and you're there insisting, no, it's okay. And that happens, I think you need to take an L, learn your lesson. Next time, make sure that if you are purchasing something that expensive, you get all the perks that comes with it. You know, essentially it's an insurance thing. You know, sometimes you're buying something so expensive. Do you want to insure it? No, I'm okay. You walk out of the shop and you've dropped it, it's cracked. Now you have to go pay a lot of money.
The lady in the shop is looking at you like, that insurance sounds good.
If only you had insured it. You saw me. He's not wrong, to be honest with you. I think I agree with what you've said as well. He could be like, oh, you know what? Fine, I'll replace it. Don't worry. We will do it.
But it wouldn't be an immediate thing either.
I mean, we know that he doesn't want to replace it, which is why he's asking if he's wrong for not.
But do you think he doesn't want to replace it now because of the expectation? Because for me, sometimes, if somebody expects something quite ridiculous and entitled, it makes me not want to replace it not want to do that thing even more.
The reason he doesn't want to replace it is because A, it was very expensive.
No, I get.
And B, also, it's because she had the attitude of not wanting to be a bother. Of saying, no, it's okay, it's fine.
Now
fine.
you are a bother.
So he's like, well, that's why he says that, why should I have to spend more money because she hates being a bother? So it's like she had the opportunity to make sure it fits perfectly to her head. She didn't take it because she didn't want to be a bother. So why should he have to?
It's a good.
And now
spend
it'll
a
be
lot
a
of
bigger
money.
bother to fix it.
It's a good learning moment, I think, for her, and that's why I'm saying that he's not wrong for that, because sometimes we see it with couples all the time. You know, even you guys all the time. No, don't wear that. You're gonna get cold. Oh no, I'm gonna be okay. Oh no, don't do that. It's like that happens with couples. So a situation like that where he didn't cause that outcome, something has happened when he actually said, let's get it fitted. You see what I mean? And obviously we can tell that this is a habit of ours because she doesn't like being a bother. So it means that from time to time, he's suggesting, babe, let's do this. Oh, I don't want to be a bother. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. And maybe something grand has never happened. This is the first time that something has happened. She's going to remember that. Next time she wants to say, no, it's okay, she's going to remember her heart in the ocean with Little Mermaid waving at it. No, it's good. It's good.
Fair enough. So, Fatani, you think he's not in the wrong?
Nope.
Chisa?
No.
Pronek?
Nah.
Okay, fair enough. No, I'm of the same opinion. I think he's not in the wrong. I think it's what you were saying. I think it's okay not wanting to be a bother, but there's a difference between being a bother and just asking for what you've paid for. What you've paid for.
It's been a while, guys.
It has been a while.
We need to
since
get
we've
back
sat
into the groove.
English is our second language.
Yeah, it's just about getting what you've paid for, and B, just letting people do their job, because it was their job to get it fitted. And the reason I liked this is because it speaks to a lot of, especially women. They have this feeling of I don't know, not wanting to take up space, like just, oh no, it's okay, oh I don't want to be a bother, oh, and it's like, it's all well and good and all, but there's some things, it's like, listen, if you're paying for something, utilize it, or if it's your right or you're entitled to that thing, claim it. You know, it's not about, oh, I don't want to be a bother, whatever. Some situations, be a bother. You know, be slightly entitled. That's the only time you ever hear me say that.
Right now.
You know, in some situations. But yeah, okay. Well, if you're listening, then post that. Yeah, you're not in the wrong thread. You have the offbeat seal of approval. Well done. You don't get many of those.
You know what would have been wrong of him though? If he kept taking his hat on and
bobbing his head. Sticking his head out on the boat. Still on.
oh babe, your hair looks nice.
Okay, dokie. All right, shall we move on to the next segment then?
Yeah.
All right then. So let's dive into our big question of the week then. So this week I want to talk about body positivity.
So you're gonna say I want to talk about body parts.
Damn.
Body positivity. So before we dive in, I guess let me start by asking the panel what you guys understand by body positivity and what it is and etc. So let's start.
In a
Pronik, go this
nutshell,
way.
I think what I understand about body positivity is basically preaching or instilling in people to be comfortable and happy in their own skin, in their own bodies. You know, whether you are fat, obese fat, or whether you are, you know, just fat, or whether you are like just above normal, skinny. You know, I'm that's when I hear body positivity, that's the first thing that comes to mind. It's wanting people to be comfortable in whatever skin they're in.
Okay. Jessa?
I don't think it's just about fat. I think you have obviously skin conditions. So body positivity covers, you know, having some sort of skin condition or disability of some sort, physical limb problems and things like that. So it's just about, like what Nick said, being confident in your body, whatever abnormalities it comes in.
Okay. Latanya, anything to add? Or pretty much the same?
No, I don't want to repeat what's already been said.
Okay, all right. So Pronik, you said it's about people being comfortable in their own skin. You alluded to the big people in what you said.
Because
Chisa is the one that brought in the other aspect, which I guess the reason I thought, okay, this is something that has to touch the Offbeat POV table is because I guess what Chisa said is what body positivity should have been about.
Yes.
Right.
Or what maybe it intended to be. I don't know if I can say intended to be. I don't know. I don't know enough about the history. But it was about people being positive in their own bodies. So yeah, disfigurements and accidents and everything and everything else.
Birth
You know,
defects, that kind of-
or even just, you know, some people are just really skinny. They can't put on weight and stuff like that. But of course, that's not what it is right now, right? Because right now the body positivity movement is about, I guess, what Pronik is saying, promoting big people, right? Promoting and I guess, what's what I'm looking for?
Encouraging?
No, not encouraging. There's another word that people use, that new age people use. What is it? Affirming. Affirming. That's the one.
I was gonna say accepting.
Yeah. It's about
too.
affirming big bodies, big people, and everything else. So I guess the first question I wanted to ask was, what is wrong with it? If there is anything wrong with it, right? Because
With body positivity.
yeah, in what it is today, because it says it's broken down into four parts, right? So body positivity is changing the way we see bodies, helping people embrace their bodies, promoting acceptance of all bodies, and being aware of unrealistic and unhealthy body standards.
I think the last one is the one that people miss out, because yes, we have to acknowledge everybody's body is different. You can have 10 people and there's going to be something different about their bodies. But I think the movement of body positivity that's on at the moment does not account for health. Because that's another aspect of body positivity, because it's all
actually, it does account, because they say health at every size. So health at every size. So they're saying that actually,
but then it's all well,
you can be healthy at every size.
You can be
at
healthy
any size is what they claim.
But can you really? Because that's the next aspect. Because for example, there is, after a certain weight, even on the NHS, they'll say you need to lose weight first before we can give you life-saving surgery. So can you really be healthy at any size? Because as far as I'm aware, and we've got a nurse here today, which is brilliant. Certain weights come with health conditions, whether that's pressure sores, skin conditions, high blood pressure. Once you get past a certain weight, don't tell me that you don't have additional health conditions. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah, you're right.
So can we really claim health at any weight? Because scientifically, it doesn't seem possible, when after a certain weight, it just naturally comes with You can't walk up the stairs. You without getting breathless. You now have to sleep downstairs in your house because you can't go up the stairs. You have to start getting modified cars so you can fit in the car. You can't get on a plane because you can't fit in the plane seats. Is that really what we want to promote as health at any weight?
Well, I mean, I could argue that, okay, I can't get in cars, but that's because cars have been designed for small people, and that's discriminatory. I find I can't fit in a plane seat, but again, that's because that's designed for a certain body shape. That's discriminatory because it doesn't take into account my body size. Okay, fine, I can't get up the stairs. Well, why don't we have stair lifts in every single house? Again, it's a system of oppression for big people.
But then you can say it's a system of oppression. I understand that, and I don't think I can put too many arguments to that. But then would we really want a society where we're enabling people to get to that size because there are things in place to make life easy at that point? Because then that's saying, yes, be any size that you want because there's stair lifts in any house.
Yeah, that is exactly what the body positivity movement is calling for. Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
To say what is wrong with that, I think Fatsani touched on it. The problem is that we are promoting and encouraging and getting people to be comfortable with the wrong thing, right? And people are scared to say it, but it's unhealthy to be fat. Don't be fat, right? Now, the problem is that I feel like people become so sensitive when we are talking about what I would say the select few that are doing everything that they're supposed to be doing, but maybe are still finding themselves big, right? So, for example, they are exercising, they are eating healthy, they've got a healthy lifestyle, but I don't know if this is the case, but let's blame it on genes or whatever, then they are still getting big and big and big. I would say they are the select few. I would say we can talk about them, fine. I would say we can fit stair lifts in their house if it needs be, but we would have to look into that. But for the majority, I feel like we are encouraging laziness. I feel like we are telling people that, yeah, it's fine, let's be fat. Hence the statement, what was it? Healthy at every size. Every size. I feel like unfortunately the society is declining where things that are not normal are becoming normal, and that's why these things are a movement. That's why they are catching attention. Why is it that we would not have been having this conversation, let's say 15 years ago, for example? Because everybody knew after a certain point you are fat, you need to lose weight. Yeah, everybody knew that this was not healthy. It was normal. I was talking to a friend. I was saying that the interesting thing is, right? You would not have to go out with a ruler or a measuring tape to discover who is fat. All of us will know who is fat. All of us know who is too skinny. Just by looking.
That's the best point pro niggas ever made.
So I mean, so already, before you even start making that argument, we as a people already know. You know. You may not go to people, but if you walk past a fat person, in yourself, you know this is fat. This person is fat. If you go past a skinny person, you know this person is skinny. Yet all of us have got different body sizes. So it means that we all know the range where
the threshold.
Exactly, the threshold where it's healthy. The problem is that laziness, and that, that entitlement mentality of this new age now, we're trying to change the society to fit us. I was watching a clip, someone was saying that, they want airplanes to be giving them 2 extra seats so they can fit. Excuse me? And the whole stair lift thing and things like that, saying that, these things are discriminating against people of a body type. No. You've grown beyond what a human should be. Wow. And you're causing a problem.
Yeah. I don't know if I would put it in those words.
What words would you put it in?
But I agree in the sense that when I was looking into this question, the consensus was that we're a big society predominantly because of diet and lack of exercise. So it's not that this wave has just befallen upon us. It's actually something that we're actively promoting upon ourselves.
We're bringing upon ourselves.
And we know what we should be eating and what we shouldn't be. What we shouldn't be eating. But again, we're a society that really, really likes to indulge. And as a result, we want to continue to indulge. But in that indulgence, we then want to say, yes, it's okay to be this way, and not acknowledge the negatives that comes with this indulgence. We want to enable our bad habits, and we want those bad habits to be acceptable by society, to say, do what you want, be it whatever size you want, and that's absolutely fine. Like, if you listen to the news and to the radios and stuff, a lot of the conversations around the NHS stems around how much money and time obesity costs the NHS.
Yeah.
And it's because of those additional health problems that do come with a certain weight.
Yeah. Two things I want to pull up on what she said. One, that term enabling bad habits. You see, that's what it is. And we can actually move across certain topics. That's exactly what's happening. Like, we can, with the whole gender thing and the feminism movements and whatnot. It's like there's certain things that are not okay that we're trying to make okay in the society. And the second thing is, she was saying that even on the NHS, after a certain weight, it's like automatically health conditions are coming. So already that's telling you that that's not okay. So why are you going to be sitting in that state and saying, body affirmation, body positivity? Even the health people themselves are telling you that, listen, after this weight, naturally,
nothing is positive.
You are going to come with it. You've had a heart attack, but they're failing to operate on you because you need to lose weight. Just an example. I don't know if the two are connected.
They are, because
you see what I mean?
If you lose too much blood on that table, you're a god.
You see what I mean? Yeah. Maybe they don't even have enough tables to feed you to operate.
Damn.
Well, I just reminding.
But it's
I'm
true.
Just reminding our viewers that I'm going
But
Indian.
no, but he's right, because again, we've got a nurse here. She can correct me if I'm wrong. If you're over a certain weight or a certain size, the NHS have to get a specialist bed to fit you, and that sometimes I remember my mum's a nurse, and she used to say, like, those beds would cost like 600 a night, if not more.
You see?
So one person, whereas Jack and Jill, their beds are costing £2 a night. Now you're costing taxpayers $1,000 a night, and you're in hospital.
And why?
For
because you were lazy.
You're in hospital for 20
I don't think
nights.
it's just laziness. I mean, obviously, people get obese for many reasons. Poor lifestyle choices.
Yeah. Like what?
That is laziness.
I'm saying everything.
Okay.
Poor lifestyle choices. Okay, laziness, lack of determination, or whatever. Lifestyle in general, as in someone, how they've been brought up, that also can factor in why they're so big. In terms, you have, I think, social worker here would say that most of the
Laziness on the
families,
parents' part.
most of the families, they'll just do takeaway.
Generational.
Instead of just cooking a nice meal. Weekends always about being out and about, drinking and things. I actually have a mutual who had a gastric
bypass. You're the nurse, huh? Gastric bypass.
There's some words in nursing that you just why is a Z next to a Y? It does not make sense.
Like zygote. Why?
So but with her reasons, I don't know, there's some, there's conditions like PCOS and things like this. It's hard to lose weight and maintain that lost weight, and it's so much easier to gain that weight. But she always knew that this is not the size I want to be. She always knew that this is not... I think the body positivity route had made it easier for her to be like, I'm fine, I'm sexy the way I am, kind of thing. But
no, you're not.
Obviously, what Fatsani has said, going up the stairs, out of breath, can't walk for too long, the simple things when we were children, it's difficult for her to do. Would have to factor in, okay, she might not be able to fit in the seats at the funfair. Let's do something else instead. I forgot my whole point, but there is
there is a point.
You talk about
the different reasons.
There are different reasons.
Always laziness.
And she has been, how you're saying that you have to be a certain way to even have the procedure. You have to follow a certain dietary plan to be able to get the procedure, and she'd done that. I think it's all about determination most of the time. And now she's really happy. She's still continually going to the gym. She's more determined to be like, this is the size I want to be. But she's also very proud of how much she's lost. So definitely body positivity, it's trying to accept fatness, but even fat people know that I'm fat. Yeah. So I don't know why there's a blanket over the whole topic.
But I think
that's a good point.
It's also good to acknowledge something that Chisa touched on in terms that there are certain people who can't control their weight.
I don't know, but
there are certain conditions where your weight is a problem, and as much as
to
you
a
can
certain to a certain point.
But I'm not saying that those people can't do something. They can do something, but what I'm saying is they're fighting the odds. So, for example, somebody with PCOS, they can go to the gym as much as they want, but sometimes if the hormone levels are here, there, and everywhere, they're going to the gym, but they're stepping on the scale and they're piling on the weight, and they are I know what you're gonna say, but they are living life to their healthiest form. But if those hormones are not in balance, they're not in balance. Or for example, somebody who did used to be skinny, did used to not or be a healthy, good weight, did used to be healthy, but I don't know, life has done them dirty. Some stuff has happened. They're now disabled. They're in a wheelchair. They're disabled. They are going to gain the weight because they're just sitting. They're not in a position to actively lose that weight. And obviously the medications that they might be on are just helping them to put the weight on, but they haven't got the means and the capacity to do anything to take the weight off. So there's people in those kinds of situations. So I don't want those people to feel like, oh, but what am I supposed to do? Because there are genuinely some people who are of a larger size out of their control. Obviously, most things are in our control, but there are some certain people, and that's the minority. And that's the point I want to hone in on. That's the minority of large people. The majority of large people, it is life choices, and that's what research will show, that we are an obese society because of our lifestyles. But there is a minority that I don't want people to feel like we're just saying everybody that's fat, that's up to you, that's your own fault, because there is a minority that's beyond their control to an extent.
I don't know. Well, I understand hormone levels and situations outside your control and whatnot. But what's interesting that when you look at people pushing body positivity,
it's not those people.
A, it's not those people. B, it's people of a certain size. And I don't think hormone levels and situations they can only take you so far. Well, because
they would.
What do you mean? To the point of 300 pounds? That's what I'm saying. I understand. And I think when we talk about, let's say people losing weight or living health, whatever, we're not saying everyone is going to be a size 6, 7, 6, 8 or 10 or whatever. I think anyone with their head screwed on acknowledges that people come in different sizes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right? I guess it's the point that Pro-Nick was saying, to say that when you walk past a big person, you're like, that person is big. Right? Does that mean you don't walk people who are bigger than you or smaller than you? You know, but you know when someone is abnormally big. And I don't think hormones alone can get you to an abnormally big state. But hormones that are out of whack and you not controlling what you're eating, yeah, you will get you there. Or you know, other things as well, drinking, or actually say, well, yes, we'll get you there. Are hormones to blame? Yes, but you're also contributing, because hormones, life situations. Well, okay, let's say for example, you give an example. Let's say someone is, you know, healthy, whatever, and they're now in a wheelchair. They'll have to make an adjustment in their life because they know now they can't do what they used to do.
Because to be fair, diet takes... Most of the times, it's actually just a change of diet that helps you lose a lot of weight. Because even remember, one of these
it's
aunties,
90%.
They just had to be, although they were really strict with it, but checking your blood keto,
sugars and stuff
changing
like
that diet to, what was it? High fat, something.
It was keto. It was keto.
0 days in a gym.
No gym work.
It started
it was
looking
just,
like Rapunzel.
the weight she
keto.
lost was crazy,
it was
it wasn't. It
She was
wasn't
a great.
even
She was a great advert for keto diet.
it wasn't even like unhealthy weight drop. It was you could see that it was very gradually happening, and it's a lifestyle change that she just continues to eat that meal, checks her blood ketones here and there. It's not something that was so drastic, and I don't know, I think most of the time,
but again,
most of the time it's just about, no, I'm saying that people even in a wheelchair, Most of the time, it's about just changing the diet. You don't have to do so much physical exercise.
But then again, it's what you were saying about determination, and it's also
100%.
it's also what
yeah.
you're consuming, because we're having this discussion because that's what people are consuming, not like food, physical food, but consuming as in social media consumption. If you're a person of that size and you every time you go, and you're gonna follow those pages on purpose, aren't you? Because that's what you want. Every time you go on Instagram or Facebook, you're affirming your size. You're not gonna have the determination for that, because you're going to be like, you know what, and I'm not saying people shouldn't have groups that they fit into. There's a group out there that I fit into. It's called the large people group. Actually, I'm fine the way I am.
And all of us are trying to lose weight.
You have categories.
No, we're trying to lose weight. We're fine the way we are.
Some of them get to the point where they just don't want to. But they have categories. I think there's like small fat, there's mid fat, there's super fat, and then there's infinity fat.
It sounds quite cool though,
scales.
I like the infinity fat.
There's actually categories of fatness. But okay, so I want to ask, because someone could be listening, or let's say someone was listening or whatever, and they're like, you know what? Yes, fine. Let's say I'm big, I have health conditions, whatever, I can't get up the stairs or whatever, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm happy to keep eating what I want to eat, doing what I want to eat. I don't care. I can get as big as I want. I don't care. Why does it bother you? Why does it matter? What would you say? I said, well, why does it matter? It's my body, it's my life, it's my choice.
Which is their point.
It doesn't bother me personally in my personal life, but when I think about things like the career that I'm in, it bothers me in that respect. Because if you're big and you live in your own house, and I'm the way I am and I live in my house, on a daily basis, you don't have an impact on me. But when this movement and I'm not saying the movement of body positivity shouldn't grow, by all means it should grow in its natural healthy definition. But when this other movement is growing, now you end up in a society where kids are that size. And you already know that their prospects are already low. And it's like, how do I now have a 12-year-old and I can see their future deteriorating? They haven't even started their future and it's already deteriorated. And then at the same time, you don't want to be that person that's body shaming them or fat shaming them, because there's this whole movement of body positive. But all I want to do really and truly is make sure that you've got a long, healthy life ahead of you. But already, as a 12-year-old, you can't go up the stairs. As a whole 27-year-old, we can't run a race because 2 seconds in, you're already out of breath. You can't enjoy childhood with your friend. You don't want to go play out because the other kids are going to be riding their bikes. You can't do that. You're too big for that. You can't go running around the way we used to, because again, already your life has started off on a back burner. You're already excluding yourself as a child. And the saying mind, body and soul is actually a thing. Even biblically, we have to take care of our minds, we have to take care of our souls, we have to take care of our bodies. Those three things coincide. And it's all well and good saying body positivity, but when that now starts impacting children as young as 10, they're now excluded. What's going to happen next? Mental health. Now the physical has started to impact the mental, and as soon as you're impacting the mental, you're impacting the heart and the soul. Okay. So it comes as a package, and you can view as many body positive things as you like, but like Pro Nick and Chisa and yourself said, there does come a time where even a big person says, "Yeah, I'm big."
Can't even finish a sentence.
And they can go, they scroll on Insta, and it's the thing, we all scroll on Instagram and feel good about ourselves. You put the phone down, you no longer feel good about yourself. You walk past the mirror, you see what you look like, you're like, yo.
No, you can't see the back end of it because your face. I mean, I would say to this person that you're right, it doesn't bother me in any shape or form, personally, like what Fatsan was saying. But then if I want to speak on behalf of the society, I would say that you better stay in your house. Don't require fire services to come and break you out. Don't require, medical health or anything like that. Don't require the police or anything. Stay in your house, die there. Because the reality is that you are affecting the society, or you are eventually going to affect the society one way or another. But my biggest point would be, and I think Fasan has touched on it, my biggest problem with this body positivity, like what I was saying, is we are teaching the society, and by that, let's say children at large the wrong thing. Right? We're teaching them it's okay to be this height, this weight, but it's not okay. It's not okay to be obese. It's not okay to be fat. We need to maintain, have healthy bodies, be able to run Jungle Book or whatever, do swing in the stuff, do stuff that children are going to do. Just like we have bad habits in societies, we're not going to be telling children to be drinking to death or smoking, or taking drugs. These are bad habits. We don't want children to be overweight as well. This is not good. This is a bad habit, The body positivity movement, for me, I feel like it instills in people, not just children, but people, to be okay with an unhealthy lifestyle. You see? And you're saying that, it's okay, it's my body, I can do whatever I want to do. Yeah, you're right, but it's unhealthy. You are unhealthy. Yeah? You need to become healthier. You need to do something about it. I'm glad it's not me, because I do understand it's hard. I do understand it needs determination. If I were you, maybe I'll feel the same way. I'll feel lazy. So I'm glad it's not me, but it's you. As long as it's you, you need to understand that weight is unhealthy. One thing as well that she said I want to touch on.
Oh, I don't need to hand up.
This is not about bullying people. Yeah, we don't want to make you feel like an outcast, that you are fat, go die alone, that kind of thing. No. But at the same time, the message we are getting out to everybody is this kind of weight is unhealthy. So it's not personal. It's to everybody. Yeah. So all of us, let's strive to be healthy. If you have those special people, that are trying their best, and this is what I was saying to someone, that if someone is truly trying their best and they know in themselves that I'm trying my best, and then they walk past a banner that says that over this obese, you are likely to die of these conditions, they are not going to feel attacked. Because they are going to know they are doing their level best to live a healthy life.
To not be that.
You see? To not be that. It's those lazy slobs that are on TikToks, that are going on Piers Morgan and Censored and saying that, no, this is fine, and flapping their... No. You are
flapping
their bellies. You are teaching the society the wrong thing.
People get us cancelled before we even take it off.
You see? And for me, that's my problem. So I'm pro... If I'm going to say body positivity in the sense that don't feel like an outcast. We are not throwing stones at you. Yeah? I'm saying thumbs up to that. But I'm also telling you that's not okay. Do something about it. Just like if I was an addict, you're going to tell me that, no, my friend, you're an addict. You need to get rid of this habit, whatever it is that I'm addicted to. You see what I mean? Do better. So for me, that's the message I want to get to people. So I would tell that person that my problem with you is that you're teaching people the wrong thing. That's why I have a problem. That's why you are a personal problem to me. So get off TikTok. Don't tell people that it's okay to be fat. Just be fat in your house.
And I think we also have to be mindful when it comes to body positivity, it's not just that spectrum of big people. There's also a spectrum of very small people. And
Skinny
I think
people,
that's equally as
unhealthy.
They've been voted out of the body positivity movement.
What do you mean?
The big people push them out. They say the message doesn't belong to them.
If we're being inclusive, you can be, if you are on the other side of the spectrum, below a certain weight for your age, for your height, for whatever, that's also dangerous, and you will have the same. Not the same health conditions, but the same message applies.
Another set of health conditions.
We've got another set of health conditions for yourself because you are too small, you are too skinny, and maybe because the bigger side have really overtaken. But there was a time where things like bulimia were being promoted, making yourself sick so that you lose weight, so that you go really, really skinny. There was a time where the movement was your ribs cage needs to be showing for you to be considered pretty, because you need to be ultra model slim. And even though that voice has been muted slightly, that's still there. That's still being promoted somewhere out there, and that's equally as dangerous. So I think when it comes to body positivity, we're not sitting here just saying fat people are the problem. There is also the other side where you've got really, really super unhealthy skinny people. And again, that is usually lifestyle or being promoted from somewhere, whether that's models, magazines, or just seeing skinny people. So we need to hit that. I don't know how you strike that right balance
But
of
for
just.
me, you guys are saying that, oh no, it doesn't really bother me. It bothers me personally. Because at work, we have to be the ones to roll them.
You know, to be
We
fair,
have to be the ones to
How do you find a venue?
wash them. It can take the whole ward having to wash
to
one
turn,
person.
or just to turn,
Or
you
having
have to turn
one
that person
And
every
this
30
one
minutes.
Exactly. This one person probably already has pressure sores, so that also means more care. It bothers me because I'm going to be 25 and backaches, okay? Things are gonna be cracking where they should not be. They should not be
By no
cracking.
fault of my own.
Because I am doing a job that
You should.
I shouldn't. That's
no.
not easy.
To be fair, that's probably what my biggest concern is as well. Because it's all well and good saying no, I want to be fighting my own house, but the thing is, you do affect society, and the health system is probably the biggest one. Because 5 nurses dealing with 1 people, that's 4 people that are left without nurses.
And imagine,
which is why I was telling
most of them
Jeffrey.
are females. Yeah. So then. So then you're putting all of your strength, and it's still not. Sometimes it's still not doing anything. You can see people are sweating, but the guy has just.
Well, you still don't
We
need
have
men,
just
huh?
managed
You still don't need men in this
to
one.
lift one buttock. So it's hard. I think
Yeah,
on
100%,
in healthcare, it's
100%.
definitely difficult.
Which is
for
why I was telling
bariatric.
Jeffrey to stay in his house. He shouldn't need NHS.
I don't know if this is the direction you wanted the conversation to go, but I know a large discussion around sort of obesity and body positivity is should food companies be more cautious and be more responsible for the impact obesity is having on society? So should the onus be on people to manage what they are consuming, or should the onus be on food producers to manage what they're putting in the food people are consuming?
I mean, you already know what I'm gonna say, because I'm very big on personal responsibility.
Bad?
There's no bad. I'm very big on personal responsibility. If everyone in the UK decided, you know what, we don't really like processed foods anymore. Let's just eat natural foods, grains or whatever. What do you think McDonald's is gonna do 2 weeks from now?
Start selling those. When the vegan movement started off, every restaurant.
So
Vegan.
so people go to companies
That is a
because
fair point.
we're enabling
supplying what they want.
We're enabling bad decisions and poor and weak mental states. So you guys are bad at making good health decisions. Okay, fine. Let's go to the suppliers instead. No, why are we not teaching these people to make better decisions? Because if the UK says we don't want McDonald's anymore, you watch, next week they're gonna rebrand. No, they're gonna be selling green things, healthy things or whatever. Why? Because
they give you a bag of freaking carrots.
yeah, because they'll go where companies will go where the money is.
money is,
Because a lot of people think companies control us. No, we have power.
Remember
it's just they're
COVID.
very good at manipulating us.
How
and we
many
let them do it.
places could you buy a mask that have never sold a mask in their lifetime, or even hand sanitizer?
I'm pretty sure even
shop,
McDonald's were selling
really
masks.
and truly, because that was
on the drive-through.
that was
with your
really,
McD's.
That was the demand.
really in demand, because that's what people needed and wanted at that time. Even sticking to the McDonald's example, when the vegan movement really kicked off, they developed a whole vegan option for their menu because they knew that a lot of people were jumping onto the wave.
Yeah, so it's the easier option to look at the companies, but that's not going to happen, because the reason it is what it is because that's how they make the most money. It's easier to have 5% apple juice and 95% sugar, and cheaper as well. So unless you say, okay, fine, make it 50, but then they'll just say, okay, fine, and then we're going to charge 3 times as much. So then now you have a society that the food is really expensive. We can hardly just about feed ourselves now. Now imagine if apple juice is £10 a bottle.
To be fair with
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
I think that would do the same thing you're saying. Because if McDonald's is now too expensive, then all of us fat people are not going to McDonald's anymore because we can't afford it. So
No,
we have to lower their prices.
We're just gonna have to find. We're just gonna find something alternative. Now instead of McDonald's, we just get it from the man down the corner, selling dodgy burgers from his van.
Chicken and chips.
But you know what, I find interesting because when I was looking around, apparently So obesity is a disease now. It's an official disease. So you can't say you're obese. You say you have obesity. So like that's the term that a lot of, I guess, conscious and people who are in this space say. It's like you have obesity as opposed to you are obese. And again, I think the resounding theme is just about how all of this is just enabling
It is really
terrible decisions and I guess taking the responsibility away from people. But what I was really interested is what does the Bible say about fatness
gluttony.
or body positivity?
One of the 7
or
deadly
whatnot?
sins, gluttony.
Are the 7 deadly sins biblical?
They're really not, but they sound really good. Like 7
I
deadly
just said
sins.
gluten. Gluten is not one of the 7 sins.
What is
But I think I don't know.
Gluttony.
I don't know if the Bible specifically speaks on obesity, but the Bible does speak on being a healthy person, being of a body type or a physique where you're capable. Does that make sense? So God, in his creation of us, did not create us to be people who sit in our homes and are unable to do anything. He created us to be people of purpose, people who can get things done. And if you're of a size that's not that, I don't think that was the intentions and the purpose that, or the way in which God intended us to live as humanity. But obviously, sin and all that, that's where we get things like obesity.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. I was gonna say, what if you're obese and you can still move around and get everything done?
Do all of
Then
that.
that just counters everything you've already said.
No, I mean, but okay, maybe we should define what I mean, but because you can't be technically medically obese but still be in great physical shape and going up and down or whatever and jumping and whatever. I think obviously what we're talking about is, again, but what Pronique said about a stage where it's beyond that, and guess where issues are developing and stuff like that. Because the technically the health medical obese chart, you can be. I'm pretty sure last time I checked, I was technically obese.
No, you were. It's not technically because you.
No, I was
What,
technically
obese or
because
just
I think I was like one point in.
You
No,
moaned
that's right.
about
No,
it
no,
for
I
like
wasn't
2
obese.
weeks.
No, I wasn't
No,
obese. I was
there's obese
overweight.
and there's
Throwing
overweight.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Because there is overweight, and then after that
and
there's
then
obese.
obese.
Yeah. Okay, no,
I've
carry
never
on.
really
Carry on.
understood. Well, no,
What do you mean
I've
carry on? I
never
wasn't
agreed
talking.
with BMI.
No, yeah,
That's the one thing
you were
I'm just
talking.
like,
Body max index, even
Yeah,
I don't understand what it is. So I just
No,
never agreed with that.
it's a benchmark. It's not exact science. It's not to say that
But it
this
used
is
to
all.
be.
But you have to have something to measure things. You have to have a template
Yeah,
because
but
everyone
it-
is different. You have to have a starting point.
Technically, it's still something that they use to like.
No, that's what I'm saying. You have to have something to use because everyone is different. You can't have a sliding scale for everybody. So you need to have something set, and then you take individual
Work with
circumstances
it.
into account. Like for example, let's say someone muscly, they could be in the overweight section, but that's because they're carrying muscle.
Yes.
So you'd be like, okay, yeah,
not
you're
fat.
technically overweight, but it's because you're carrying a lot of muscle. So you're fine.
go lose the muscle. I'll be like, no, thank you.
No, you can sip out the weight, but then you have to
be
have
fair,
something in place.
I don't really know what the Bible says directly about obesity or being fat and things like that, to be honest with you. I've given it a lot of thought, tried to skim through what I know, and I couldn't
Pinpoint.
pinpoint where it would
think I
actually
have.
say that. So I think my route would be similar to Fatsani's. I was laughing to myself, like, even if you're talking about preaching, how are you going to preach if you're so fat, you're in your room, you can't go to nobody?
Zoom now. Yeah.
What if you
Preach
have,
on Zoom?
what if you
Yeah.
take certain
And then
passages
every
literally?
10 minutes, Jesus coming to turn you.
Okay, let us turn our Bibles to. I was thinking, what if you take certain things literally and you're like, what about fleeing? How are you going to flee?
to the mountains.
I've done things.
you're dead. No, but yeah,
When
but
you have
honestly,
to climb to the tops of your houses.
on a serious note,
Well,
I
then I
think
guess that means that, like what you said, then technically you have to be able to do that physical work.
yeah. What physical work?
The climbing,
to the
to
mountains.
the mountains,
Fleeing apparently.
fleeing. You must be able to.
But yeah, but I think that's what I'm saying. My route would be similar to Fatsani's, where if you look at all things being equal, if you look at the encouragements and the messages that comes to a believer, all of it is about living life with integrity, living the best you can. Even we talk about stewards and things like that, so then the message surrounding that, will point to a healthy lifestyle.
There's nothing that says I can't live with integrity and whatnot with being obese.
Yeah, but we're already defining or saying here that obesity is not healthy. So already that is off the charts. So whatever society would deem was obesity.
Eat and be merry.
Oh, is that what you had in mind?
Yeah. Oh, the fact, like when, like in famine, and then they'll say, no. When
I'm really excited for this one.
Don't watch me.
There's nothing there, don't worry.
Don't watch me.
She's gonna say she's forgotten.
When I was thinking that the fatten, like when they would snap.
Do I not get a point for that? Because I called it.
No.
Because what's the question again?
I'll say, what does the Bible say about fatness or fat people?
So not fat people, but fatness.
Fatness, okay.
Fatness is that
whatever.
there is.
Are you referring to the fat cows don't have to fatten?
The fattened cows before being eaten.
But you are.
Are you saying we're eating fat people now?
No, but the fatness of yeah.
You're not thinking of the 7 fat cows.
No, you should I think just talking about the fattened cow or something. You have to fatten it.
Slaughter.
Okay, fair enough. Disappointing, none of you.
Listen,
But no, you know what? It's interesting. I'm not going to tell you or the viewers anything. All I will say is that the Bible does mention fatness, especially like, people of fat nature or obese or very fat or very plump.
It actually does.
It's several times throughout the Bible. But what I'll say is that it's never in a positive light. It's never in a
There's one
positive
that I've
light.
thought of already. He was a Philistine,
I think it was a Moabite.
ruler.
Remember Eglon?
Yeah.
King Eglon.
It says that the dagger that the guy had, he stabbed him and the fat covered it. People didn't know that he was stabbed until the guy left. That's how fat the guy was. Can you imagine? You get stabbed and the fatness covers the thing.
Sounds like a show to me.
Well, it didn't work because he was still dying.
He ain't here today.
Yeah. So
He mentions that
in several verses, that experience one, Job refers to a few. There's some in Proverbs, but basically, obviously, being fat, being plump, being obese like that, it is a sign of unrestraint and indulgence and sort of like almost like a haughty, carefree, arrogant spirit. As in.
Undisciplined.
Undisciplined. Undisciplined. I've got the verses, but I want you guys I want you and the listeners to go do their homework. So anyone who's listening, I want you to go through, find those verses I'm talking about and ping them to us either on YouTube or Twitter or on Instagram. Let us know. And I'll be rating. I'll start giving points out to the listeners as well.
No, not Genesis.
Fatsan, you just say something.
But I suppose situating it in our context, in our African culture, especially in Malawi, being big is a sign of wealth, is a sign of prospering, is a sign of doing well. I remember one year we went back home and my mum was determined to lose a bit of weight. So she did. We went there and people were like, are you struggling in the UK? Do you want to come back to Malawi? Because for them, a sign that we're doing really, really well to wherever we've migrated is we're all going to come back.
It'd be big.
Yeah, because that's a sign of prospering and doing well.
Huge or just waiting?
No, just big. Just the big.
I think I would put a difference there.
No, the bigger you are, the more people see that you're doing well.
In a lot of African cultures, that is the thing. It's not. A, it's not a biblical mentality. B, it's not a very healthy mentality either. But that's the thing. That's why you have like chiefs and stuff who are big. They're usually big and can't really do anything. I don't know why.
But then to juxtapose that, I don't think I've ever been back home and met what I would call an extremely obese person. But again,
as you say, this is a sign of prosperity. Who's prospering?
That That is very true. But then again, I think that speaks to lifestyle and the way of life, because as much as people back home can gain that weight and be a bit plump and be a bit chubby, the lifestyle that most Africans live, where they rely on the land, they have to be active. I'm guessing maybe the hot weather also helps. They do get big, but they don't get big past a certain point because the lifestyle doesn't allow for that. But I think now that we're getting more westernized, we might start to see a lot more of that, because people want now to live
people are working in offices more and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna become a pandemic. I mean, there is already an obese epidemic in the Western world, but yeah, it's gonna catch Africa soon if we don't watch out. But okay, dokie, ladies and gents. Listen, I thought it interesting because I think it's only gonna get a little bit worse before the House of Cards falls, and I think it will fall because nothing built on sand ever lasts. But in the meantime, it's a topic that's happening. And I think it's important to keep in mind.
I don't want to sit near Prode.
Are you sure you want them to fall?
They fall on us. We'll survive.
We'll survive.
Hey. Okay. All right. So before we bring it to an end, then I did find this list.
How do you manage with these?
You know that scene in Serafina when the fat kid falls?
That's not even me anymore. I'm just enabling by laughing.
Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Okay,
So you find something interesting?
I found a list of I guess signs that you're part of that you're part of the fat shaming culture, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Which I found quite comical. I mean, insightful. So
He's definitely part of the fat shaming culture.
So I'm gonna go through them and see what you guys think. Right. So, are you fat shaming? Signs that you might be part of the problem or you are part of the problem. Feelings of superiority in comparison to overweight or obese people. Number one.
In what case, like
Running a race.
If I look at someone and think I could have run you.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, can you run?
Part of the problem. I guess you've just done it. Make jokes about fat people seen in public or in the media.
Right.
Like, is that an earthquake? Oh no, it's just Bob next door.
I feel like it just comes on so naturally for you.
Comments on another person's body. Or teases friends or family about their weight in an attempt to be funny. I think that's how the road
Someone's father-in-law with a little poor child.
Right? Honestly, on her birthday. Was it a birthday or a...
I don't know. Go play with you. Go jump on it and lose some weight.
Next one.
Twice. Twice.
With a straight faces.
Next one. Allows for family members to make fun of fat people.
It's fine. You don't need to read the rest. You've proven your point.
This is comical. This is very comical.
The next one. Views thinness as an attribute of success, happiness, or self-control.
100%.
Critical and judgment of others. That's very general. Just critical and judgment of others.
Way too
Apparently, you're part of fat shaming if you are. Assumes weight is a lifestyle choice.
Everybody here then.
That's part of fat shaming.
Gisa, maybe?
Makes assumptions of personal character, morality based on appearance or size. Views diet as a quick fix and easy solution to weight loss issues or to weight issues.
No, we definitely know it's not easy. We were saying it's determination.
And looks down on others who do not adhere to clean eating.
What do they mean by clean eating?
So, healthy eating pretty much.
I mean, to be fair with you, I ain't healthy myself. I'm just fortunate I'm not fat, so nobody is looking at me. So, no, that one doesn't apply.
But I think I don't think when people say healthy eating, unfortunately, I think, again, people go to the extreme. But healthy eating, by its actual definition, is just eating foods from every food group in moderation. That's healthy eating.
And
So-
even just moderation, full stop.
Yeah,
Is the key thing.
So
is moderation.
like for you, I don't think. Have you ever found yourself in a state where every single day you make it a mission to have 5 burgers, 2 boxes of donuts? Because that's some people's diets. If you found yourself doing that, you'd
In
be
fact,
like, whoa,
that
what's
sounds
going
extreme
on?
to me. But what I wanted to say is that I don't find myself watching my diet. Like at the moment,
But then
I'm just
again-
eating what I can find.
But then again, lifestyle and upbringing, you didn't grow up in a home where you grew up in a home where naturally things were in order. Does that make? And you've just carried that on to an extent. Because like for me, if there's no vegetables on my plate with a meal, I don't think that plate is complete. And this is a conversation we always have
What's
because
not complete about it?
the
'Cause
meal
no
there's no
vegetables.
vegetables. Well, there's
So
a meal has to comprise of the starch, a meat, a fish, a protein of some kind,
and the green thing.
and vegetables. And the vegetables don't need to be green, but vegetables.
I was
When
with
he
you until the fish.
when he cooks, sometimes just the protein and the starch, and I'm like,
Potatoes are vegetables.
where's the vegetable?
Potatoes are vegetables.
There, see.
Well, they're not
Oh,
fruits.
potatoes
But-
not vegetables.
But then again, that for me, that's because of my upbringing. That was meals in my household, so I'm accustomed to when you cook, there has to be a vegetable of some form. Whether it's a salad, cooked vegetables, that kind of
Shane,
thing.
next time just
Alrighty.
take like a.
But I do want to say,
lettuce.
some children. No, I think we should give some leeway to children.
About
When
what?
they grow, their weight does balance out eventually. Not most times, but a lot of the
It
fat
depends
children,
it depends how
not
big
fat
you are.
children. A lot of the children I know that were big, time has done them well.
Yeah, but
No, but
they're
is it
big
time
at
or is
like
it them?
they're big at like 2-3 years old. But when you've got like
sometimes they don't put effort into it. It's
a
No,
5-6-year-old, that's still quite big.
No,
the
but
chances
I mean,
of them
like
remaining
if you're
big are
bigger,
high.
like 7 or 8, and as you grow up, your diet just gets worse, and you get more sedimentary, like you're not doing anything, you're gonna keep those pounds on.
Did you purposely change your diet?
I became mindful, yeah.
Oh.
It wasn't like on the forefront of my mind, like but I became mindful of it, yeah. So and that's what I mean. Because if you just sit, don't do anything, and keep eating, you are gonna get bigger. The good thing is that with a lot of children, all things being equal, the older they get, the more active they get. They go to school, maybe they join sports clubs or whatever.
Stress of the exams.
It's stuff like that, and so.
Heartbreak.
But that used
but
to be
then-
the
but then-
case.
but then
It's
I-
not the case anymore because right now kids spend more time indoors on their
yeah,
video
that's
games.
true.
For us, that was true for us in
There you
our
go.
generation
Yeah, there you
growing
go.
up. When you got home from school, you took your uniform off, had your dinner, went and played with your friends. These days, the kids don't even have they get home, don't take their
That's it.
uniform off, grab their dinner, which already is an unhealthy dinner, and they sat in front of a screen until bedtime, if bedtime ever comes.
For me, with children, it's down to the parents. It's down to the parents because
Yeah.
they
For sure.
they
Like
they.
I said, an age,
I
for
cannot
sure.
expect a 6 to, let's say, maybe even 13-year-old to be mindful of vegetables, what am I eating, things like that. That's the parents' job, you know. And you know, sometimes it's weird when you go to certain friends, and there's a child there 7 or 8 years old. I'm not eating this, you know, refusing peas or vegetables, whatnot, and they'll eat the meat and everything else and leave that, and the parents are okay with that. And you're like, what are you doing? At that age, how can they dictate that I'm not eating this? You should know what's good for them. You should say, no, eat these vegetables. In fact, it should never get to the point where a child at that age is saying no to vegetables. You know, you've done something wrong.
No,
already.
they will say. I
say
think
no
that's
to
an unfair
vegetables.
statement. Kids will say no to vegetables, but the fair point that you made as a parent, you know best. So as much as they're protesting, that kid has to eat those vegetables, and sometimes
I
even
think
parents have to get creative to make sure that kids are eating the right diet because kids
sometimes
are
they
going to
sneak
push
these
back. Sneak
vegetables
those
in.
vegetables in.
And I agree with that to an extent. I think the examples I'm mentioning, it's where you know it's a habit. You know, the children are like, I don't eat this. Yeah. So it's like it's not this is the first day they're trying these vegetables for the first time and they're refusing for the first time. You know, it's where it's a habitual thing. So for whatever reason, they have failed to make vegetables part of the child's diet. You know, they have allowed that. So of course, as the children are growing up and they're trying certain things, they will lean towards other stuff more than in things like that. But then at that point, that's where you curve it in, you know? fine. They may not like peas or carrots, but they will be eating aubergine and whatnot. So therefore, if you're a parent, then you know, okay, fine, I can't have a lot of carrots in there, but I'll have these greens in there because the child will eat those greens. But to say no greens at all, and then you are enabling that, of course you're screwing up the child's life. And then that's how they end up with weights that now they can't lose. And they're telling them, oh, it's my genes, I was born like this. No, my friend, your parents messed you up. They set you up to fail.
All right. Okay, so I want to end with this with the study that was completed by UOB, the University of Birmingham, which is just down the road. So, you know, it's close to home. But obviously, I mentioned earlier, it was understood that, or rather, it was claimed, not even understood, there was no science. Just people claimed that, oh, you can be healthy at any size. You know, they were calling it healthy fat. But a study that was conducted in 2022 by UOB,
which is last year, it's not long ago.
Yeah, University of Birmingham concluded that actually people who were thought to be healthy fat were actually 49% more likely to develop health issues and 97% more likely to have heart problems.
Wow.
I found that 97% a bit mad. That's a high percentage. But yes, yeah. So that's that. That's the study. Those are the facts, and that's
according to that
the
one
discussion
study.
Anyway, I won't go into the study, but I'll link it in one of our socials. You can read it in your own time. It's an interesting read. But okay, listen, ladies and gents, let us know what you think about this topic. We know it's a sensitive issue, especially
not to pronate.
When you start talking about things like this, they are very sensitive. People clam up, you know, it's, oh no, you can't talk about that. But listen,
and that's why you need to add a bit of humor.
We're Offbeat POV. Nothing is off limits. We'll talk about it. But let us know what you think. Lou, let us know what you think. So before we end then, I want to finish.
Lou?
What is it?
You said Lou, let us know what you
I
think.
said do, let us know.
Oh, no, you said Lou, let us know what you think.
It was definitely Lou. I thought it was a young thing that youngsters are saying these days. You know, so I let it slide, but it was definitely Lou. You don't want me laughing
when Lou actually
comments.
Thank you very much for the shout out. All right. Okay, before we go, I want to leave you guys with this week's good news. What?
You actually said Lou.
I'm pretty sure I said do.
Who was?
All right, I want to leave you guys with this week's good news. Right, I found this very interesting, and it's a good news, and it's very relevant to what we're talking about today. So the headline was God Manchester woman, it's an area, completes solo channel swim using arms alone.
Wow.
So a woman who finds the touch of water painful has completed a solo English channel swim powered only by her arms. Miss Etheridge completed the 30-mile challenge in time of 29 hours and 4 minutes. She had been a competitive swimmer since childhood and enjoyed triathlons until she was hit by a car in 2011. This left her in permanent pain and limited mobility and being largely dependent on a wheelchair. She was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Yeah. She was diagnosed with
Add a bit of confidence.
Fibromyalgia, a long-term condition.
No, it's a cat.
Guys, behave.
I don't know how to say it, but I'm enjoying you people saying this.
A long-term condition that causes pain all over the body and complex regional pain syndrome. She says that being in the water hurts, being thrown around the waves hurts even more. You have huge ferries and tankers going past you, and I've been learning how to swim, controlling that level of pain. It's as much mental as it is physical.
Wow.
I found that very interesting because we're talking about, you know, being determined, you know, doing what you need to do. And I found this woman's story very inspiring.
That's what we mean when we mean determination.
You know,
speaking as someone who absolutely hates pain, like I'm talking about, I hate pain so much. It's like a little flick. I'm looking for the nearest paracetamol. That sounds excruciating.
Yeah.
And what she's done there, that's amazing. So all you people laying in bed right now saying, no, I can't. You can. Get up. Do something about your weight. You can do it.
Okay. Any more?
No.
I thought you were going to ask about, can fat ever be attractive?
Can fat ever be attractive? I mean, the conversation didn't go there.
Yeah, I thought thought that was where we were going
Cheater
to
came
go.
with research.
I did.
Listen, you could have brought it that direction if you wanted. We're having a discussion.
I don't know. I don't know how to do
So
that.
fine, new answer. Can find ever be attractive?
Well, not the fact that we're talking about. Not obese,
So no is your answer.
but
Such a
overweight.
politician.
So no is your
I mean,
answer. We're talking about obese. I think we're talking about the obese
They
level.
have
of
children,
fitness.
surely. So
Do you know what I
obviously-
found interesting?
They don't have children when they're that obese. By that time, they probably already have children.
How can you even like partake of the process
always
to
think that's
produce?
No, but
If
You
the
would
woman
have to,
is small
you have to
enough,
move the
But
fat out of the way.
interestingly, studies show that a lot of people don't actually find big people attractive to an extent. However, when it comes to the porn industry, fat is one of the most searched categories.
Right, it's weird for sure.
No, yeah, but that makes sense because it's a fetish. So it's all the weird people.
Yeah.
So it's just one weird person searching the whole day.
It's really not, but
I
I just found that intriguing that
that makes sense because it's strange.
when
It's
it
a
comes
fetish.
to life
Therefore,
decisions,
it's a taboo.
Isn't it? No, isn't it curiosity?
It's like no. It's like how I don't know when that study was, but I was watching something because they said the most searched was stepmother and sister. But that's obviously because it's a fetish. It's a taboo. It's and it's like that. It's that.
I get it.
It's taboo. It's that
But again, it's
that thrill
indulgence,
type of
isn't
thing.
it?
Yeah,
It's,
exactly. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. It's not that they're gonna go out and find a fat girlfriend. It's just
But again,
A taboo.
another study showed that most people who are attracted to big people is because that's the kind of community they come from. So all they've ever known is a big family. They probably have a large parent. With a lot of their childhood, what they've seen is large people. But again, that's with anything. You attract what you're attracted to what you know and what you've been exposed to.
That's what the danger is of growing up with wrong morals, wrong
positive messaging.
wrong messages and things like that. Yeah, it's like growing up in a house of Satanists. The chances of you being a Satanist are quite high.